Here on the channel, we touch on a lot of issues and topics that for us normal people are completely and utterly absurd. The mythical scandal at BYU. Normal people, we saw this for what it was from the very beginning. The Bubba Wallace scandal in NASCAR, where he pretended that a rope used to pull the garage door down was some type of signal of mythical racism. The WNBA and their promotion of abortion. It's kind of ironic when you think about it. For decades, men have been told that we were not allowed to have an opinion on abortion. Men should not be allowed to give their opinion on what a woman can do with her own body. The mentality around abortion has shifted. Half the country's unable to define or even identify a woman. With the advent of mythical woke medicine, some dumbasses believe men now have the ability to get pregnant. With all these sweeping changes, I guess it kind of makes sense that a league filled with pretend men like the WNBA would be fighting so hard for abortion rights. What if Megan Rapinoe gets the Sue Bird pregnant? We cannot afford to lose the bird. Our ticket sales will go from almost nothing to nothing. Yeah. With Megan Rapinoe failing to reach puberty, I don't think you have to worry about the prepubescent boy getting the bird pregnant. But you guys get the point. Every day we cover ridiculous topics here on the channel. I am drinking my coffee this morning, watching the newest episode of Power Raising Canaan. Great series, by the way. I encourage you guys to check it out. Comes on Stars. While I'm watching the show, I received an email from one of you guys. He sent me an article from MSN.com about South Carolina head coach Shane Beamer. Just what I thought. We could not top the level of absurdity that we have already reached in this country. The shit fucks strike again. Georgia-South Carolina was the early window game on ESPN Saturday morning. In typical college football fashion, it was a complete blowout. Game was over by halftime. But in terms of television ratings, football is so powerful. NBA games a blowout at halftime, ratings will suffer. WNBA game is a nail-biter going into the fourth quarter, ratings will suffer. We are heading into the fourth quarter live from the Chicago Dump with the score tied 5-5. We have seen a record-breaking performance from these woke welfare recipients. 8 missed dunks, 70 missed free throws, 20 broken bongos. Heading into this fourth quarter, the team with the most preparation H on hand will win this exciting contest. When it comes to football, nothing will stop people from watching. Georgia-South Carolina was the second most watched program on Saturday, pulling in over 3 million viewers. The post-game show drew a higher audience than any game during the WNBA Finals. Coming out of the game, there was literally nothing to talk about. Like I said, it was a blowout. South Carolina was embarrassed on their home field. Some in the mainstream media were actually speculating that the team quit on Shane Beamer, but that story has been overshadowed by something that happened going into the second quarter. And I hate to say something happened because this is literally nothing to normal people. But as you guys know, the shit fucks, they can always find something to complain about. They can always find something to trigger them. And oh, did they get triggered Saturday morning. At the end of the first quarter, the athletic department at South Carolina, they decided it would be a brilliant idea to honor their female athletes on the football field. KC, why? What the hell do female athletes have to do with football? Come on, guys! Have you already forgotten? Back in June, we all celebrated the 50th anniversary of the passing of Title IX. The month of woke Christmas, that was not enough to contain all the necessary celebrations. We must now honor these legendary athletes during a commercial break of a football game. South Carolina brought something like 275 young women onto the field for this celebration. They were trying to appease the shit fucks. After all, the shit fuck of all shit fucks is one of the highest paid woke welfare recipients in South Carolina. She is one of the founders of mythical racism. Dawn Staley. When normal people fall into the trap of appeasing woke shit fucks, they often lose their ability to think logically, think rationally. Now let's assume just for a second, that all of us are dumbasses and we want to appease the unappeasable during a nationally televised college football game. We have several options available to us. Option 1, hold the fake celebration during halftime. But KC, what about the marching band? I guess they'd have to take the day off. But you know what? Now that I think about it, you would piss off shit fucks if you canceled the marching band too. The virgins achieve full erection when they see dudes on the football field pounding the hell out of the bongo. So option one's off the table. Let's go maybe with option two. You have the fake celebration after the game. But Casey, everyone will be leaving. It would be a disgrace to these young women. They would be triggered. They would feel like no one cares about them. Wait a minute now. I thought people really cared, were really invested in women's sports. Nancy Armour at USA Today keeps telling people how popular these women have become. Why would anyone decide to leave early and miss honoring these women? Option three, you have the fake celebration before the game. But KC, fewer people are in the stadium before the game. These women would not be truly honored in front of half the crowd. Are you starting to understand now how difficult life becomes when you're trying to appease a shit fuck? This is why I call them the unappeasables. It is impossible. You can't do it. South Carolina was faced with the same situation. I should say they put themselves in this same situation. Instead of thinking logically and not having this bullshit celebration at all, we just spent an entire month celebrating Title IX, watching the same people who can't fucking define a woman, who are pushing for men like Leah Thomas to take over women's sports. The entire month of June, we watched these same people supposedly celebrate women. So why do we need to have another celebration during a football game? South Carolina tried to appease the unappeasables by having the celebration during the commercial break heading into the second quarter. They had 3, maybe 4 minutes to get nearly 300 young women on and off the field before ESPN came back from commercial break. Now, any normal person would know this is not possible. To make matters worse, Shane Beamer, he elected to go for it on 4th and 9. The delay getting these young women off the field, who have nothing to do with football, allowed the best defense in the country to scope out Shane Beamer's personnel and his formation. Obviously, he was pissed off, just like any head coach would be in the same situation. ESPN captured his reaction for its national television audience. Watch it for yourself.
Students in the end zone. Nearest to the line of scrimmage. Shane Beamer is upset because now you've given Georgia a long time to see your formation as they're trying to get these kids off the field. Georgia's kind of got a bead right now on what the formation looks like. And so we have to steal possessions. You have to have an edge on special teams. They just did with a fake punt. Shane Beamer really irate. This is South Carolina's fault. This is their home game, and these folks are on the field for some sort of ceremony.
Casey, I don't understand. What did he do wrong? My naive brother in normal. Didn't you see? Shane Beamer violated the woke commandments. White man, check. White man yelling, check. White man yelling at birthing persons we believe identify as women, check. The shit fucks came out in full force. Oh, did they come out in full force? Headline at SB Nation. What was Shane Beamer thinking? I'll tell you what he was thinking. He was thinking, get the fuck off my field. I have a game to win. Another SB Nation headline. South Carolina Title IX ceremony ruined by Shane Beamer's hot temper. The toxic masculinity he displayed, it was so triggering. Oh, it was so triggering. If I were attracted to women, I would give those girls a woke hug. Instead, I will make myself feel better by pumping up inflatable N and eating on his hot dog. The reaction on woke Twitter was even worse. I'm not sure if it was woke Twitter, black Twitter, or birthing persons who identify as female Twitter, rectum rage Twitter. Hell, I don't know. Maybe it was a combination of all of them. The Twitter bots absolutely blasted Shane Beamer. How dare he care about a silly football game when we're trying to honor the same women athletes we're trying to make extinct? You know how I tell you guys all the time, there is no loyalty in the woke movement? It doesn't matter how much of an advocate you are for games involving the anus. It doesn't matter how much you promote CRT or the rights of Tran Dan. None of it matters. None of it matters. All it takes is one violation of the woke commandments and you are the next target. Now, I'm not all that familiar with Shane Beamer. I don't think he's woke, but I really didn't do enough research to confirm that one way or another. What I do know, Shane Beamer, he has been a strong supporter of female athletes at South Carolina. During press conferences where he's supposed to be talking about football, he always finds a way to recognize these young women. Check out a few examples for yourself.
Just wanted to congratulate our women's soccer team and Shelly and Jamie Smith on the fantastic win over the Tar Heels last week in Chapel Hill. Wish luck to Coach Staley and her #1 ranked women's basketball team as they tip it off this afternoon and start the 2021-22 season. And first of all, I want to send congratulations to our women's tennis freshman, Sarah Hamner, for claiming the ITA All-American National Championship title over the weekend. That is really, really awesome.
You think any of that mattered to Jaleesa Harris? He yelled at me, he hurt my feelings. I'm sure he did. You were standing around in the fucking end zone for minutes acting like you didn't have a clue that you were supposed to get off the field. Now, I often criticize Dawn Staley here on the channel, but she actually surprised me. This is the same woman who canceled basketball games with BYU over fake claims of mythical racism. This is the same woman who influenced young women to kneel for the national anthem at the Final Four to protest mythical racism. In most cases, Dawn Staley, she does not let a mythical woke crisis go to waste, but she actually came to the defense of Shane Beamer. Check it out for yourself. Now, I thought this was interesting because it shows what happens when a woke crisis like this impacts a shitfuck personally. If this same situation had happened with Nick Saban at Alabama, what do you think Dawn Staley's reaction would have been? Nick Saban is a misogynist. He thinks men are superior to women. He's an evil white man. He must be fired. But when Dawn Staley knows the target personally, suddenly the woke narrative doesn't matter. Suddenly the only thing that matters is the truth. Strange how that happens. These people are all about the narrative until it impacts them personally. Just look at what happened last week at Martha's Vineyard. Did you guys see about that? Residents of Martha's Vineyard sympathize with illegal immigrants when the problem's secluded to Texas or Florida, Arizona. But when those same immigrants are setting up tents in their backyard, they have them removed in 24 hours. The hypocrisy never ends. But let me know what you guys think. Shane Beamer attacked for mythical misogyny. And I forgot to mention this. He came out publicly and apologized. Unfortunately, I now have to add Shane Beamer to the long list of violators of this channel's only golden rule. Never apologize to the shitfucks. But other than that apology, I don't think Shane Beamer did anything wrong here. Do you guys agree with me? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.